A couple of things to talk about. One, got your grades posted for your project plans. Those all looked good. The main thing is that you walk through the process, and a lot of teams actually find that they begin to use this process later on through their other courses when they're looking at big projects, just to make sure that they've covered all the bases. So I hope that you enjoyed that. I got good feedback in general from the teams and the people that were submitting, that they enjoyed using the tools and thinking through the process. So I hope that was helpful. As far as what to expect from your grades and getting things back to you, for those of you that rewrote an essay from the workflow, I think there's a couple still out. Try to get those to me by the end of the week, or the first of next week, and I'll regrade all of them together next week. So try to get that to me. I like to try to gather those and just jump right back into grading and look through all of them at one time. So right now I think I've got most of them, but if there's still a couple, I think there's a couple that are out, so get those to me as soon as you can, and I will rework those. So I don't know if I mentioned it earlier in the semester, but obviously by now you figured out one of my methods of teaching is that rather than giving someone a bad grade and just leaving it at that, I'll send, a lot of times if I can, if it's reasonable and feasible, I'll send it back and say, okay, look, this is what I'm looking for. If you can make these changes and improve your work, then I'll update your grade. Most of the time, I do that without penalty. If I have to get into the third or fourth rewrite sometimes, then I'll put a grade penalty on there. But for the most part, if people send something back the second time, they just didn't understand the instructions or didn't understand what I was looking for, I try to clarify things to bring your work up to graduate level, because that's what I think the class is all about, is for you to finish the class and me to have worked with you to bring your knowledge level and thinking level up to what an MBA should be able to think like. So that's why I allow you to do some rewrites. So now we're into Module 3, and let me pull up the module here. Okay, so here in the website, in the course, you see the materials and resources. Module 3 is Chapter 7 and Chapter 10. So this is Dr. Bandy from Kennesaw State who created this module. And one of the first things that you've probably already noticed is, you remember my basic description on the projects from before, I was looking at more of a Goldilocks rule where I didn't give specifics on font and size and length and things like that. I wanted you to be able to do it yourself. Dr. Bandy, on the other hand, likes to give specifics that he's looking for. That's okay, there's nothing wrong with that, it's just different methods. So we'll try to stick close as you can to his expectations. That said, if you go over a little bit, if you're a little under a little bit, that's okay. I'm not going to penalize you on meeting the exact requirements that he's put forth. So we're looking at his rule, kind of interpret it with my little fuzzy Goldilocks rule. I'm looking for what's just right. For him, he thinks just right is that one page, and that's probably pretty accurate. We've been doing these activities for a while, and most people can get it real close to that. So that's what we're looking for. You've got an executive summary for Project 4 that you'll be turning in, and then the team journal. One clarification on the presentation is it said 10 slides in 10 minutes. The 10 minutes was intended to be the maximum. The 10 slides is intended to be the maximum. Those are not minimums. Those are supposed to be the most that you should shoot for. So that's, just wanted to make sure I clarified that. We're looking for 10 slides in a maximum of 10 minutes, and around one page. If you had to go a little bit over, that's okay. But remember, an executive summary by design is supposed to be sort of like an abstract and a very short Cliff Notes version of the article. So that's what we're looking at there. I believe that about covers everything for the next week or two. So if you have any questions about this material, let me know. I will be looking at grading your presentations. One thing I did notice that some of you posted MP4s in Brightspace. If you can take that MP4 and go ahead and post it to YouTube and share the YouTube link, that would be great. It'll make it a lot easier for everybody to watch the videos and then discuss your presentations. If you have trouble with that, that's okay. Just leave it as it is. But try, let's see, I think the next one is just a PowerPoint with voiceover, so that won't be a YouTube link. But if you can, try to get your previous videos, the emerging trends videos, posted, and I'm going to do my best to get those graded over the weekend if I can. or at least by Monday. So I know I've got till Monday according to my 1 week rule, and it may be Monday afternoon or Tuesday before I get done with that. Next week I'm going to be out on Thursday and Friday, Wednesday through Friday night, actually traveling to Tampa for a business conference, leadership development conference. So if you email me during that time, I'll be a little bit slower to respond, but I always do get back with you. If there's anybody that feels like I've let something drop, shoot me another email and remind me, because the email program here in Brightspace is not that great, and so sometimes things get moved around, or somehow I click the wrong button, and it's just not my favorite email system. So if I've not responded on something, except a regrade, those I'm gathering together. So if there's something else that I've not responded on, just shoot me a reminder, and I'll try to make sure I follow up with you. So everybody have a good weekend. I'm planning to have a good weekend. My wife and I are going to Chattanooga for the weekend. So if you have any favorite places that you really think we need to go to, shoot me an email to my West Georgia email and send me your recommendations. So everybody have a nice weekend, and I will be hearing from you next week.